it's Emily Rand with ESPN Esports, and let's talk some Overwatch. Now that we have our two grand finalists, it does not come as a surprise to me if you watched my previous video, and it shouldn't necessarily come as a surprise to many people. Our two finalists, Vancouver Titans, San Francisco Shock, indubitably the two best teams this entire season. And I think that framework is the best way to look at both of these teams, because the most impressive thing about the Vancouver Titans and the San Francisco Shock is not that they were super good in the GOATs and triple-triple, but the fact that both of them pretty seamlessly transitioned into the 2-2-2 role lock that happened in Stage 4. Now, I have gone on the record and said I do disagree with the placement of the role lock. I don't necessarily have issues with it as a meta shift, but the placement was very awkward, and we saw a lot of volatility with teams in Stage 4, certain teams doing really well, other teams having a lot of trouble adjusting. However, the playoff format, specifically the double elimination bracket, I think definitely gave us the two best teams. Once the Shock were upset by the rain, they kind of raised through the losers bracket pretty, I don't want to say easily, but a lot of these matches weren't close, and even the ones that looked close were still a 4-0 for Shock. So I think we definitely got our two best teams. The most impressive thing about both of these teams is how they've been able to either swap in and swap out players depending on the meta, and also they both have really deep benches and or a ton of flexible players. So for example, right now when you need a Sigma, a really strong Sigma, a really strong Orisa, so someone who can adapt to a new hero very quickly in that flex tank position, a strong Orisa, and then a strong Doomfist is a must. And these are two teams that have a remarkably strong Doomfist, Sinatra for the San Francisco Shock, and then Hoxel for the Vancouver Titans, which, I mean, some people might be surprised, but he had like insane montage videos from before when Doomfist was, you know, kind of first released. The big thing for the Titans is that they've looked really strong with TZ in the tank position. I think this team, you know, they never dropped into the losers bracket. They are going in, I think, with the perception of the team to beat. I am actually slightly calling it for the Shock. I don't think that it will be a surprise if either of these teams win. They've faced each other many times. Again, they've been the two best teams in the league all year. But I think what the Shock have that the Titans might not have as much is that flexibility and adaptability when they swap different players of their roster in and out. So if they do want to run a little bit of a different composition, if they do want to play with some of the heroes that they want to run on Control versus Escort, etc., they can do that by swapping players in and out of their roster. And while the Titans are also able to do that, I think they have a little bit less flexibility. However, I think they play around their specialists really well. So it's going to be a great matchup. I am super excited for it. These are two teams that, when we took a look at the playoff meta, you know, it's like, okay, both of these teams are still going to continue to do well. And I definitely think that this year we really got to see the two best teams of the entire season now facing each other in the finals. And yeah, I'm calling it slightly for the Shock because I do think they're a little bit more flexible, but I'm really looking forward to see what both teams bring. I hope to see some sort of really interesting hero combination that maybe we haven't seen before, or maybe a roster from the Shock that we haven't seen before that they've been saving. Who knows? But if you agree, if you disagree, and you think the Titans are significantly better than the Shock and I'm insane, you can leave some remarks in the comments or tweet at me. And for more Overwatch League coverage, keep it here on ESPN.com/esports.